with hard work. You can't outlive me. You can't outwant me. You can't outwork me. No one will outwork me. No one.
I will not be outworked,
Right.
period. You know, you might have more talent than me, you might be smarter than me, you might be sexier than me, you might be all of those things. You got it on me in 9 categories.
The sheer concentration that is required to pursue a dream, you see, it's not for everyone. But it was for me. I yearned for the daily grind, and I couldn't get enough of it.
99% of people are not willing to do what it takes to make their dreams come true. The Marines have a saying, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. And that's just real. At the center of bringing any dream into fruition is self-discipline. Self-discipline is the center of all material success. You cannot win the war against the world if you can't win the war against your own mind.
Work. That's how you get it.
The work pays. Hard work pays. I put in the work, and that's why I'm sitting at the top. I put it all on the line. I show up. I perform, and I get the results from that.
That ability to get myself up in the morning, no matter how tired I was, to push myself through those pain barriers.
The bridge between reality and a dream is work. I focus on the work. I show up and I work and I work and I work and I work.
Everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. You can't just say you want it. You can't watch the video and say, I want it as bad as I want to breathe. It's cute to say it. But when it's showtime, when the sun comes up,
all you can do is all you can do. There ain't nothing more than all you can do. That is the absolute maximum. You can't do no more than all you can do. You understand that? All you can do is all you can do. All you can do is everything. That's the absolute ultimate, right? It's all you can do is all you can do. But all you can do is enough.
The only thing that you can control that influences success in life is how hard you work, how honest you are, and how well you deal with others. You can control those variables. You can't control how lucky you are, although the more you work, the luckier you get. You have no influence on the intellectual capabilities that God did or did not give you, but you can work as hard as possible. You can be scrupulously honest so that people respect you, and you can get along with others because nobody does anything by themselves.
Did you have to pay a price though? You personally?
Well, I think that everything is an either or. There is a price in everything. You can study or you can go out and play. You can defer to others or you can try to hog the credit. You can be honest and suffer the consequences, or you can lie, cheat, and steal, and short term, maybe even advance. But long term, you are better off if you work harder, you are better off if you're honest, and you are better off if you give others credit and get them to help you by helping them.
What makes life powerful and meaningful and substantive is the expiration date.
You do what you love doing, and you do it well, then everything should sort of fall into place.
If we were to live forever, we could be slowful and lazy and indifferent because we'd have forever to get it straight. But the fact that the clock is ticking puts a sense of urgency on each and every one of us. And I know you're saying, well, I'm 20, I don't need to hear. Yeah, you do. You need to hear that because you won't be 20 long.
So many of us choose our path out of fear disguised as practicality. What we really want seems impossibly out of reach and ridiculous to expect, so we never dare to ask the universe for it. I'm saying I'm the proof that you can ask the universe for it.
In a few months, you'll be 21 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and it's ticking on everybody. Procrastination then becomes an enemy because we cannot afford to procrastinate with a time that we do not have. Most of us right now are looking at where we are with a certain degree of disdain, expecting to have gone further started and where we are by now, we look back and wonder, was I really a good steward of the time that God gave me?
Imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed and standing around your bed, the ghost of the ideas, the dreams, the abilities, the talents given to you by life, and you, for whatever reason, you never acted on those ideas. You never pursued that dream. You never used those talents. We never saw your leadership. You never used your voice. You never wrote that book. And there they are standing around your bed, looking at you with large, angry eyes, saying, we came to you, and only you could have given us life. Now, we must die with you forever.
Did I really maximize my life?
And the question is, if you died today, what ideas, what dreams, what abilities, what talents, what gifts will die with you?
The truth of the matter is, no matter how productive you are, all of us have been guilty of wasting days and wasting time and sometimes wasting opportunities along the way. In fact, what makes you start to get wiser as you get older is that as the sands begin to fall more rapidly and you begin to recognize that you're running out of time, you begin to mark certain things off of your list. I'm not going to let that worry me. I'm not going to let that worry me. This was not important. I'm not going to do that stupid thing again. I don't have time to make that mistake. I've got to redeem the time. I got to make it count. I cannot mess this up. My time becomes more valuable the more it becomes limited.
My father could have been a great comedian, but he didn't believe that that was possible for him. And so he made a conservative choice. Instead, he got a safe job as an accountant. And when I was 12 years old, he was let go from that safe job. And our family had to do whatever we could to survive.
Death is the destination we all share. No one has ever escaped it. And that is as it should be, because death is very likely the single best invention of life. It's life's change agent. It clears out the old to make way for the new. Right now, the new is you. But someday, not too long from now, you will gradually become the old and be cleared away. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary.
I learned many great lessons from my father, not the least of which was that you can fail at what you don't know. So you might as well take a chance on doing what you love.
What makes life powerful and meaningful and substantive is the expiration date.
How do you keep going? Why do you keep going? When the world says everything else is supposed to be opposite. Pain is a repetition of the psyche. Until you learn how to figure it out, until you learn how to tap it on the back and say, I know you there, but I'm built to deal with you. I don't want nobody to leave here today and not understand why we must find a way to push through pain to understand that's on the other side of that is glory.
Do not take the easy way out. Do not give up based on instinct. If you are forced to stand down, to retreat, so that you can rebuild and reattack, so be it. But make that decision based on logic, not on the instinct of surrender. And go. Fight on. And if that is what you become, if that becomes your fundamental reaction to adversity, if that becomes your gut instinct, then you will overcome just about anything that stands in your path.
There's two sides of pain that I don't think a lot of people really understand, right? There's one side of pain that's the suffering and the discomfort side of pain. That's why everybody raised their hands when I first asked, do you have everybody ever been through pain? Because that hurts. You remember what that felt like. But then there's another side of pain. That's called effort. It's called glory. It's called if you can find a way to push through pain, there's something greater on the other side of it. And if you never tap into it, it's because the first time you felt that you backed off. The first time you felt, that burn. The first time you felt that, it's too much. And we rationalize with ourselves to where we automatically stop. That's why a bunch of us give up so much in life so quickly. That's why kids have a problem finishing things in today's time. Because as soon as they feel a small bit of discomfort, of things ain't right, they gone. I can't do it no more. But suppose I told you the greatest pain of my life is the reason I'm standing here. Well, sometimes your greatest pain, it ain't even about you. It's about a greater purpose. That if you can find a way to push through, that if you can find a way to not make it about you, learn to appreciate the occasional storms that come in your life. Just learn to appreciate how small they are, the occasional storms that come every day. And then that's the ingredient of how you really deal with pain. Figuring that out. Stop crying.
If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. which is more. You'll be a man, my son. There's all kinds of different ways to break. You can break physically, you can break mentally, you can break your heart, you can break your spirit, and none of those are fun, and all of those are gonna leave a mark. But the mark that they leave can be the mark of victory, or it can be the mark of defeat. Because every time you break, and in every way that you break, while it's a chance, it's definitely a chance for you to give up and for you to just to fall apart. But there's also opportunity. There's opportunity to get stronger and get smarter and get faster and get tougher and get more stable and get more resilient and get better. When you break, you have the opportunity to show the world, the whole world, what you are really made of. So if you break, the fight isn't over. In fact, if you break, the fight is just beginning. And as you crawl up and out of that dismal and wretched place, you're covered in blood and sweat and dirt and filth as you rise above what you were. And as you take the form of who you are supposed to be, you will see that in the very act of standing up, in the very act of fighting on, you will become and you will remain unbroken.
When I was in high school, I early on, about 16 years old, I decided I wanted to become president of the United States. I was like, how can I contribute the most to society? And I went to a seminar by a man named Jim Rohn. I took a week's pay. I was working $3 a week as a landlord. And it was $35 for the evening seminar. So it was a big decision. I listened to this speaker. I was so inspired. Most of these seminars I believed. Now as an authority figure saying, we really can do this.
Why pay the price? Why work this hard? Why go this far? Why try to learn this much? Why try to do it all? Why try to see it all? Why try to have it all? Why do it? Why learn it? Why study? Why put yourself out? Why try to take on this much responsibility? Why develop yourself to the full? Why try to become all that you can possibly become? Why try to earn as much as you can earn, share as much as you can share, develop every skill you possibly can, see every human you possibly can, go to every class you possibly can, touch everybody you possibly can? Why do that much? Why go that far? Why share that much? Why give that much away? Why try to see everything? Why try to do everything? Why try to become everything? That's a good question, why? And you're the only one personally that can answer that question for yourself. You've got to have your own list of why. how is easy.
If you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, if all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, and if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it, and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, and if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold poverty, famish, or gulf, sickness or pain of body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want, dogged and grim, you besiege and beset it. With the help of God, you'll get it.
But if the why isn't strong, if your goals aren't powerful, if the vision isn't clear, the old prophet said, without a vision we die, without a vision we perish, without a dream we're nothing.
And because he spoke how people live their lives as a result of the story they believe about themselves, he interrupted the story that I believed about myself.
Work on your list of why.
Make no small plans, for they have no magic to stir men's blood.
I'm gonna do this shit until they throw fucking dirt on top of my hands, until they bury me.
Pain is temporary. It may last for a minute, or an hour, or a day, or even a year. But eventually, it will subside, and something else will take its place. If I quit, however, it will last forever.
There's two sides of pain that I don't think a lot of people really understand. Right? There's one side of pain that's the suffering and the discomfort side of pain. You remember what that felt like. But then there's another side of pain that's called effort. It's called glory. It's called, if you can find a way to push through pain, there's something greater on the other side of it.
I'm gonna prove to you that I can come back, that I will come back, because I got this motherfucker right here. I am determined. It's my motherfucking magnificent obsession. But let me tell you, when they split me open and I passed away 3 times from there, you talk about broad damn. God damn. But this thing that we do was my motherfucking magnificent obsession. I was obsessed with this shit. I'm gonna do this shit until they throw fucking dirt on top of my hands, until they bury me.
The greatest pain of my life is the reason I'm standing here today.
I'm not afraid to die on a treadmill, right? I will not be outworked, right? Period.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You need a nobody. He's gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not point your finger saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Not one of you can outwill me. You may have been born with more genetic prowess than I have, but you cannot out-determine me. You can't outwill me. You can't out-want me. You can't outwork me. You can't out-desire me.
No one will outwork me. No one. I love and I respect you guys.
motherfuckers won't work.
I suggest to you that if you are facing a challenge, don't stop. Stay busy. Work your plan. Continue to do those things that you know that work for you after you have evaluated yourself from the situation. Continue to move. Stay busy, stay busy, stay busy.
You can't just say you want it. You can't watch the video and say, I want it as bad as I want to breathe. It's cute to say it. But when it's showtime, when the sun comes out, everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do.
If you don't believe in yourself, it won't happen for you.
This top spot is number one. That's mine.
Wins and losses come a dime a dozen. But effort, nobody can judge effort. Because effort is between you and you. Effort ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. You will not quit. You will keep going. You may lose, but you will not stop. You will not quit. You will keep going.
I'm not gonna let this opportunity go by without giving it my all.
You gotta get up and make it happen.
Don't fuck the opportunity up.
If you want to be the best, if you want to reach the pinnacle, you must be, you have to be obsessed with obtaining it. Greatness in any field, greatness cannot be achieved without obsession.
Because every day is a new day. Every moment is a new moment. So now you got to go out and show them that I'm a different creature now than I was 5 minutes ago. Because I'm pissed off for greatness. Because if you ain't pissed off for greatness, that means you're okay with being mediocre. There ain't no man in here okay with being just basic.
You made a choice to be average. Why? Because the people around you are at you an average school, or you work for an average company, so you decided to go against who you are.
Never say never. Because limits, like fears, are often just an illusion.
There's a great feeling in these overcoming these difficult things, because life is never this just constant state of I'm at a 9 all day, and when I'm with my wife I hit 10, yay, and I stay like that. That's not real. It all comes from life lessons, and the lessons are learned through struggle. And I think that there's a lot of people out there that think somehow or another you're going to get to some place where you're living in silk sheets and you're getting your toes done while someone's dropping grapes into your mouth. I don't want that. I've never wanted that. That guy's not going to be happy. You have been fed this line of horseshit that you're supposed to seek comfort. And I don't think you are. I think you're supposed to seek lessons, and you're supposed to seek difficult tasks and accomplishments, and through those things and through doing things that are hard to do. Because if I just think, well, tomorrow I'm just going to coast and eat Twinkies and watch TV. Oh, hello, sadness, my old friend. Hello, depression. And we can pretend that we're something other than what we really are. And we can pretend, nah, me, man, I'm just cool, just chilling, doing nothing. Little improvements, I think, are what life is all about. And I think also they're a tool to feed the mind. Because I really believe the mind needs these little lessons. The mind needs these little tasks. Stimulation and reward. Lack of these peaks and valleys. And it's, again, this bullshit idea that we're constantly fed that you should be comfortable. Those human reward systems are carved deeply into your DNA. And if you don't respect that, if you don't respect the mechanism of happiness and fulfillment and what you really need to do in order to feel satisfied in life, camaraderie, love, family, friendship, struggle, testing yourself, learning, all those things are imperative. They're all a giant part of being a person. Improvements over things. That's why doing difficult things is good.
Here's what I want you to look at. There are winners, there are losers, and there are people who have not discovered how to win. And all they need is some coaching. All they need is some help and assistance, just a little support. All they need is some insight or different strategy or plan of action to make some adjustments that will open up the key to a whole new future for them, that will give them access to the unlimited power that they have within themselves. That's all that they need. So what I want you to do is think about something you want for you. That's real for you. That's important for you. That will give your life some special meaning and power. And I don't even want you to say, I can do that. I don't want you to assume that. See, 5 years ago when I started out in this area, I would not have been able to make the mental leap that I would be up to where I am right now. I don't want you to begin to just psych yourself out. No. I want you to be able to say something to yourself that will enable you to maintain a level of integrity with yourself. That when you say this, even when you face tremendous setbacks, it will be a benchmark to keep you in the game, to keep you moving forward and experimenting and readjusting your strategy and your plan of action, continuously looking for ways to win. So what is that something? When you got an idea you want to move on, you might not have the money, you might not have the education, you might not have the support or the resources you need. What is that something that can keep us going, that will enable us to act on our dream? What's one of those keys that will begin to help us to discover the secrets to our dream? Say, it's possible. That's all I want you to do when you look at your dream. Just say to yourself every day, it's possible. And say that every day to yourself, it's possible. Because what does that do? See, it begins to change your belief system. See, the way in which we operate, ladies and gentlemen, is a manifestation of what we believe, what's possible for us. Whatever you've done up to this point, all that it really is a duplication, it's a reproduction of what you believe subconsciously that you deserve and what's possible for your life. Most people operate out of their personal history, out of their memory, things they've done, things they've experienced, things they've seen, things that they have observed. What I'm suggesting that you operate out of a larger vision of yourself. I want you to see yourself doing what you want to do, experiencing what you want to experience, having what you want to have, doing what it is that gives your life some meaning and value. Operate out of your imagination, not your memory. Because whenever you look at where you want to go, I'm wanting to warn you, you will have some conversation back here after you go through the data that you've experienced in life saying you can't do it. And so what you want to begin to do is ignore that inner conversation. Well, most people, ladies and gentlemen, when something happens to them, what they do is they begin to believe that that's the way it is. That's the way it's always been. And they can't see the possibility of it being any different. Example, before April 1954, the common belief, the universal belief, because it had been tried again and again and again and people had failed, the belief was that man was not physically capable of breaking the 4-minute barrier, that he could not run a mile in less than 4 minutes. That was the belief on the planet. It had never been done. But here's what happened, ladies and gentlemen. Roger Bannister came along. And he broke the 4-minute barrier. Now here's what's significant about that. Since that time, up to this day, over 20,000 people have done it, including high school kids. What changed? 20,000 people. What changed? Here's what happened when they got on the track. They knew it had been done. And because they knew it had been done, there was a new belief about this barrier, about this goal that was unreachable. And those 20,000 people got in a race believing, knowing in their heart that someone had done it, that it's possible, that they could do it. And I'm saying that if you know anybody that had some goal, some dream, something they wanted to do, and they did it, denying saying that you know in your heart that if someone has done it, then you can do it. It's possible. And that if someone can make their dream become a reality, that it's possible that you can make your dream become reality. And so as you begin to look at where you want to go, beginning to embrace that, it's possible. I'm blessed and highly favored. I've got a lot going for me. I've got some good stuff in me. And it's possible that I can bring my greatness out here in the universe. That I can do what I want to do. It's possible I can write my own book. I can have my own business. I can take the trip and travel around the world. It's possible. I can bounce back from adversity and reinvent my life. It's possible. Regardless of where I am, the things can get better for me. It's possible.
You take that challenge. When you answer the call and you see the other side of pain, it's called glory. This is called glory. There's somebody sitting home right now. There's a young 10-year-old kid sitting home that don't have a father. And he's ready to join the gang. He's ready to give up. I'm telling you, don't give in. And don't ever give up.
I went to bed last night, and all these ideas about how you're going to get up this morning. It's going to be different. Things are going to be different. Today you're going to start taking steps towards doing some of those projects that you know will get you closer to living that dream life you keep playing over and over in your head. Different from the practical life that you got to get up and meet every day. To go to the cubicle-infested world and work a job just to pay the bills. Put gas in the gas tank to take you places where you don't really want to go, to be around people you don't enjoy being around. Put groceries in a refrigerator. Groceries that keep you fat and lazy, keep you away from being healthy and fit in your life. What wakes you up? What drives you? Why are you playing this game? Pay the mortgage on a house that doesn't inspire you, it's just a nuisance and you hate coming home to. What the fuck are you doing? And you know what makes it even worse? Is that you're a coward. Before you got from the bedroom to the kitchen, Mr. Ugly was there. Mr. Resistance, right in your ass, telling you what you were going to do different than what you want to do and what the inner voice inside of you tells you need to do with your life. Telling you that those...
God in advance for a victory that he has not yet seen. This is very interesting because in Gideon's entire story, most of which you are already probably very familiar with, Gideon has other exchanges and conversations and dialogues with God. But in all of the conversations and all of the connections, he gets down on his knees not to request anything from God, but just to get down on his knees long enough to lift his face and his hands upward towards God and to say to him, Lord, I don't know how this battle is going to end, but I'm going to worship you anyhow in anticipation that you, the one who has started the good
work. Are you alive? Mr. Resistance will be there every morning. Morning, noon, and night. And while you were sleeping, wiping your ass, kicking your ass, unless you turn around and you start throwing punches.
At 3 o'clock this morning, no time. I ain't even my passion wakes me up. My drive wakes me up. What wakes you up? What drives you? Why are you playing this game? Are you a gazelle? Or are you alive? And I'm telling you today, you ain't gotta be perfect. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You don't have to be perfect to get what you want, to do what you want, to have what you want, to be what you want. You don't have to be perfect. It's a lie. Everybody can serve. Anyone can be the leader. you have to do is perfect the day. That's what I want you to do. You'll never be perfect. As long as you're alive, there's always progress. You can always get better. But listen to me. I want you to practice perfecting the 24 hours. You hear me? 60 minutes a day. 1,440 seconds. That's what I want you to concentrate on. I want you to concentrate on the now.
And you know what makes it even worse is that you can count.
When I wake up in the morning and I'm working on my speech, when I get up in the morning, I'm answering a phone call. When I get up in the morning, listen to me very closely. I'm writing down every idea I dream about. Every movie, I can't even watch a movie now. I can't even listen to music without writing something down. I get my iPad and I'm writing everything down. It's right here, everything. So guess what? Guess what? Every week I do, every time I'm practicing, every book I do, everything I do to make me better. I'm telling you, if you fall in love with small, if you fall in love with every second, every minute, every hour of the day, you stop thinking about 2012, you stop thinking about 2013, and you focus on the now. You master the now. You become an expert of the now. I'm guaranteeing you, you're going to blow up. I need you to stop trying to do it big. I need you to fall in love with small, and guess what? Big gonna be attracted to you.
That there is something better for you to do with your time than even being here. Right now, I am Mr. Resistance. I'm distracting you from doing the work you need to do. Get the fuck out of here and do the work of your life.
Everybody can serve. Anyone can be a leader. Listen, our gravestone has a date. A day when you were born and a day when you die. And they got a dash in between. And that dash defines what your legacy is. Dr. Miles Monroe compares the leader to the king of the jungle, he says. He says the lion is not the tallest animal in the jungle. The lion is not the largest animal in the jungle. The lion is not the smartest nor the most intelligent animal in the jungle. And yet, when the lion shows up, he is king. He is king. You don't need to be intelligent. You don't need to be smart. You don't need to have a certain height. You don't need to have a certain weight. You don't need to have any kind of advantage. And yet, you can be a leader. I was not the biggest, the strongest, or fastest. But my goals were clear. My actions were and still are in service of those goals.
When the gazelle wakes up, it runs. But if a lion ain't chasing it, it stops running. But when the lion wakes up, it don't need nobody to push it. It pushes itself. I'm trying to perfect the now. Are you hearing what I'm saying? I'm trying to look at each second and make sure I'm doing something each second. I want to make sure each minute I'm doing something each minute. I want to make sure every hour I'm doing something every hour. I want to make sure that day I'm getting something done. On Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday, on Friday, that I'm effective. You don't have to be perfect. What wakes you up? What drives you? Why are you playing this game? Are you a gazelle or are you a lion?
You take that challenge. When you answer the call and you see the other side of pain, it's called glory. This is called glory.
Right now, I am Mr. Resistance. I'm distracting you from doing the work you need to do. Get the fuck out of here and do the work of your life.
It don't happen in the game. You watching them on TV, see them put up that shot in the last 5 seconds, hit that shot. It's not where it happened. It's not what happens in the game, it's what happened before the game, and it's what's going to happen after the game. It's what you see versus what actually is happening. Kobe Bryant didn't arrive on court 5 seconds before the game and hoped that he was going to make that shot. He made that shot 1,000 times before. But that's why they have a mystique about it, an essence of magic, almost superhuman. You are witnessing the results of their work. You're not watching the 12 hours he was in the gym, the weeks, the months, the years. You just watched one game. That's why you think they magic. Success is made in the gym. Success is made in the training. Success is made through the hard work and dedication. Success ain't the result. Success is the journey. Success is the days, the months, the years you put in. That's what success is. Too many people looking towards these stars and these inspirational people and seeing their results and thinking that's what success is. But success was the journey. Success was getting out of the dirt. Success was coming from the bottom. You don't start your story at the top. You better be willing to put in those 10 hours, 12 hours, every single day. It ain't gonna happen overnight. You ain't gonna arrive one day in front of a hoop with 5 seconds left to win a championship ring and hit that shot. It ain't gonna happen. It's the process before. It was the process before they got Kobe there. It was a process before they got Michael there. It was a process before they got Pele there. They ain't just arrived there. You think those musicians picked up a guitar and started playing? Start rolling after hits after hits after hits? Hell no. 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, fingers bleeding, sweat on the drum skin, blood pouring out your hands, minute after minute, hour after hour, rep after rep, song after song. It don't happen at the performance. You're watching the pinnacle. You're watching all their work come together. That's why it seems magic. That's why it seems like you can't do it, but you can. Stop looking at the end result. What you want is an opportunity to shoot that shot. But you don't see it. You don't see the blood. You don't see those sweat, the tears. You don't see the crying, the losses. You don't see the ruin, the sleepless nights. You don't see lost friends. You don't see the world of pain. You don't see the risk, the implications this might have. You don't see the lost opportunities. You don't see it. All you see is one shot. That's all you see. You think Arnold arrived on the stage looking like Mr. Olympia? If you really want it bad, you know what you gotta do. Ain't nobody willing to put in the work for the result. Everybody wishing for the result. Understand? You ain't want to take the test. You just want an A+. How you gonna get an A+ if you don't take the test? How you gonna take the test if you don't even practice? You don't even revise, you don't even study? It ain't gonna happen. Everybody wanna be like Mike. Ain't nobody wanna put in the work like Mike. Everybody wants to be the next big thing, the next superstar, but ain't nobody willing to put in the work. None of y'all willing to put in the work. And if you truly are, if you really put in the work, 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, every single day, you might have a chance. You might be the one. You might just be. But it will never happen if you wish it. There ain't no place for wishing in this game. You have a chance to be great.
The mind's a medieval motherfucker. It's constantly fighting against you. It's the only thing in the history of the fucking world that shows up on time, every time. It has the tactical advantage over you. It knows your fears, it knows your insecurities, it knows everything about you. It might be the only thing in that world that knows all about you. You gotta know about it. It's gonna show up when you don't want to show up. It's gonna show up at the worst time possible when you want to be successful. It's gonna say, take the easy road. Take the easy way out. You gotta learn your brain like the brain has learned you.
The mind is the battleground. It is the place where the greatest conflict is. There are more people in this room having trouble in their mind than there are people having trouble in their finances. The struggle is in your mind. This is why we have people who go to bed tired and wake up tired. Slept 8 hours and you wake up still tired. The reason you wake up tired is that you got sleep but you didn't get rest. Your mind has been in turmoil all night long. You've been wrestling in your sleep. Have you ever woke up and your bed was wet? The bed is all torn just like you've been in a fight because your mind has not rested. Your body went to sleep, but your mind is still caught up in a warfare. Your mind is the battleground. Enemies after your mind. Out to worry you to death, out to stress you to death, out to break you down, out to make you quit, out to make you think that you can't get up, out to make you give up on your dream. The warfare is in your mind. It's not in your checkbook. It's not in your savings account. It's not on your job. The fight that you got to fight is in your mind. And if you whip it in your head, you can whip it in your checkbook. You can whip it on your job. You can whip it out of your children. But you got to cry it out of your head.
No retreat, no surrender. We live and we die by this. Every man must search his own soul. People don't burn out because of what they do. People burn out because life makes them forget why they do it. Character supersedes talent every day of the week. At a certain point, don't let your actions betray your words, man.
Person that you're striving to become is stronger than any opposition, any adversity, any challenge that you will ever face. You know, I've been playing a game of football since I was 7. The second game of my junior year, fourth quarter, a little bit over 2 minutes left in the game, we were playing against Air Force. I went to make a tackle and I hit the guy, my body went completely limp. I fell to the ground and I blacked out. I almost lost my life and ultimately it left me with a paralyzed right arm and hand. My career ended. But I couldn't blame anyone. I couldn't blame the game of football. I couldn't blame the guy that I hit. I couldn't blame life. Instead, it made me question myself in such a way that I said, Ink, is this it? You know, there's one bad chapter to find the book. Now you see life for what it's really worth. Like, is that it? Did you just want to make it to the NFL? That was going to be it.
Just because it's never been done doesn't mean it can't be done. My number one competition is me. It's always you versus you.
I just had a paralyzed right arm and hand. My mentality wasn't paralyzed. My spirit wasn't paralyzed. My drive wasn't paralyzed. My dedication wasn't, my commitment wasn't, I was the same man. I just had an extra boost of energy for why I live my life. I wear this as a badge of honor. Every single day, the adversity, the opposition that life sent to break me, I wear it as a badge of honor because I understand every day of my life, I represent something. So we already know what time it is. We know they finna try to break us. We already know they think we dealing. We already know that. We know they coming at us. We know they gonna throw everything they got at us. So here's how we gonna beat it. What we working for is greater than me and you, so we gotta press forward and we gotta conquer it.
You got to be the one to get up every morning, be disciplined, put in the consistent daily hard work, because that gains success. No coach, no trainer, no mentor, no boss can do it. You versus you.
None of us wake up and say, today is the day I destroy my life.
You can run into a trap, and you set up a life that you didn't really want.
What we do is we kind of check out because it feels overwhelming, or we check out because we're afraid, or we check out because we start listening to self-doubt, and then we make these teeny tiny decisions all day long. We don't even realize it. Decision to not get up on time, a decision to not eat the right thing, a decision to snap at your kids, a decision to not speak in a meeting, a decision to not look for a job, a decision to not deal with your finances, a decision to not call your parent, like whatever it is. All day long, these tiny decisions that take you so far off track. And then you wake up like I did, and you look at your life and you think, how the hell did I get here?
You're alone with your thoughts. You get an idea of what your thoughts actually are.
Bang, he ran into the abutment of a bridge and his life was snuffed out. If you had asked him a half hour before how much sand he had left, he would have said at least a half a century. He didn't have a half an hour. See, the trick is we don't know how much sand we have left. This is all we've got right here, right now. We don't know how much we have left in the future, but we do know what we've got now. And I have found that people that win are the people who make up their mind. They're not going to waste the minutes. They're going to be productive. They're going to make it happen every minute.
Oftentimes, people make the mistake of getting stuck. And it is just a tactical mistake, just like it would be a mistake if you got stuck on a video game.
The awful truth is that life is easy. Truly living, chasing a dream and truly living is hard.
You knew that there was more in store for you, but you couldn't figure out how do you close the gap? How do you find the power that's in you? How do you discover your greatness? How do you solve these problems that are so overwhelming?
Taking chances and navigated their way. What do they do differently? What objectivity do they have that maybe you lack? What insight into their own mistakes are they willing to delve into that you're not? That you step back and go, you know, I just don't want to look at myself that closely. But the person who's able to look at themselves the closest is going to get the more rational results. Is that we're living our lives in these very unfulfilling ways, where you're going to this office with artificial light and you're doing something you don't want to do all day long, and then you get home and you're tired. Just go hike up to the top of a mountain and look out. You know, there's a reward that you get from that is intensely, like, soul-filling.
We're all taught that life is tough. Life's a bitch. Life is hard. But it's not. It's pretty easy, right? It's pretty easy to skate by and go through life, right? We wake up every day, most of us in the world, with a roof over our heads, a big comfy bed under our butts, fridge full of food. Most of us in the world, especially here in America, never have to worry about starvation or homelessness. We have friends and family that'll help us out when those things come. Those are the things that made life dangerous 100 years ago. Now we complain if life isn't convenient. This isn't a statement on modern society. This is a statement about motivation. Life is easy. Easy to skate by.
The question isn't, can you handle the situation? The question is, can you handle your mind? Can you manage the thoughts and the emotions that are trying to poison your progress? Forget managing the situation. Manage your mind.
Don't matter whose fault it is that something is broken, if it's your responsibility to fix it. It's not somebody's fault if their father was an abusive alcoholic. but it's for damn sure their responsibility to figure out how they're going to deal with those traumas and try to make a life out of it. It's not your fault if your partner cheated and ruined your marriage, but it is for damn sure your responsibility to figure out how to take that pain and how to overcome that and build a happy life for yourself. Fault and responsibility do not go together. It sucks, but they don't. When something is somebody's fault, we want them to suffer. We want them punished. We want them to pay. We want it to be their responsibility to fix it, but that's not how it works, especially when it's your heart. Your heart, your life, your happiness is your responsibility, and your responsibility alone.
Fear is not real. The only place that fear can exist is in our thoughts of the future. It is a product of our imagination, causing us to fear things that do not at present and may not ever exist.
As long as we're pointing the finger and stuck in whose fault something is, we're jammed and trapped into victim mode. When you're in victim mode, you're stuck in suffering. The road to power is in taking responsibility. Your heart, your life, your happiness is your responsibility and your responsibility alone.
I'm fragile. I feel pain. I hurt. I open my eyes. I create. I conquer. I hold power. I'm a thinker. I crave victory. I do not give up. I feel no fear. I fear no man. I'm an athlete, a warrior, an artist.
The only thing I need every day of my life is 86,400 seconds.
Work on your focus. Perspective is everything. Problem with most of you is that you see difficult as something negative. I want you to see difficult differently. Are you hearing me? I need you to see difficult differently.
It's a 1,000,001 excuses not to get it. But over here, that shit is unacceptable. We gonna win. We gonna get it.
Can you be committed to the process of what you do without being emotionally attached to the result of what you do? Because a lot of people can be committed to the process of what they do if the results don't change. But the moment the result or the outcome changes of what they're chasing, they shut it down or they quit simply because the result changed. So can we be committed to the process of what we do, but not emotionally to the result of what we do, understanding every day I get up and give everything I got to everything I'm a part of simply because this is who I am? I stopped saying I've got to wait for good things to happen to me, and I said I'm going to grind. I'm going to fight. I'm going to work. I'm going to press forward. I'm going to learn. I'm going to do everything in my power to become a victor and not a victim. Winners win and losers lose.
What's your ultimate dream? If you could be anything you want to be, what would it ultimately be? The last stop. Now is the time to begin to think about it so you know wherever you at, we ain't making no excuses. We don't got no fear. I don't care if I fail. I'm gonna try. That's all we gotta do is try.
I can't explain it any better than that. I don't know how it happened, but winners win. And if you create a culture of losing, if you keep being a victim, if you keep letting losing happen to you, if you keep letting people do you and treat you any kind of way, it's going to become a culture.
There's nothing you can't accomplish. You're gonna go on, you're gonna become world champions. It should drive you. It should. It works for me. It should drive you. You get all the talent in the world. It's all here. It's all here. Everybody's the next best thing. Everybody's the thing. Everybody's the best. It's all here.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerless. I never feared about my skills, you know, because I put in the work. Work, I think, eliminates fear.
Yes.
You know, so if you put forth the work, then what are you fearing? You know what you're capable of doing, what you're not.
Never say never. Because limits, like fears, are often just an illusion.
What inspires you? What motivates you? What'll make it hard for you to sleep? Get up early and start early. Go to sleep at 8. Whatever that is, that's your call.
Make large plans, for they do have magic to turn men's blood.
Impossible is not a fact, it's an opinion. It's your opinion. And they'll say, no, science shows. And I say, yeah, how many times does science show something's impossible? Now science shows it's possible. Things are impossible until somebody does it. Divorce the story of your limitation and marry the truth of your unlimited capacity, then the whole game changes.
Success is born out of luck. It's awareness of mind that takes advantage of that opportunity. You will all be confronted with opportunity. You must take advantage of it. Because if you don't take advantage of your opportunity, you'll never realize your dreams. Whether you want them or not is irrelevant. You don't know that until you achieve it.
But most people have strategies available, or they could get them, or you could create them. But the problem is you got a story. And your story is why it isn't working. And the story is, I've tried everything. If you tried everything, you'd be fit. If you tried everything, you'd be profitable. If you tried everything, you'd be there. But people say it.
I was born into accountancy. Getting a job at the Hotel St. George was my passport to escape the world that I was born into, to start a new world. Do I have what it takes? I said to myself, yes. So I started pushing, 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 and pushing. That self-belief at whatever cost.
You can do more than this. If I had to walk, I had to walk. It just became just a process of grinding and grinding, and grinding is not even a good word for it. It's not even a good word for it. And just going further and further. And then when I got through running, I go to the bike. I go to the pool. If I got tired somewhere, my legs were tired, I go to the gym. And I developed this crazy workout where I was doing volume.
Things don't happen overnight. You have to make the emotional and the personal investment to make your dreams come true. You never throw in the towel. If I threw in the towel, pick it up. Never give in. Never, ever, ever give in. And when you're young, it's very easy to give in, to walk away. It really is. So whatever you want to do in your life, don't overwork it, don't overthink it, and you realize your dream. Trust me.
Anybody can dream it, but you'll never see it until you're willing to be committed to it. When I didn't have anything, church didn't have any members, I'd get off work, working at Carbide, and drive up the roads and work on the church till I had to turn around and go back to work. We worked when we didn't have food. We worked when we didn't have lights. I was putting my whole check in the offering, all of it, trying to keep it going. When I finally got some staff, I went on the road preaching, and whatever I made on the road preaching, I brought it home to make the payroll of the staff. And sometimes I got them paid and couldn't pay me. Commitments. Looked like a fool. Didn't have any
great preacher. I had holes in my shoes. They laughed at me. They said that boy's lost his mind. He'll never be nothing. He stutters. He's got a lisp when he speaks. He'll never be a preacher. I don't care what you think. If you are committed to what you believe.
It's not going to be easy. It was hard laying on the floor of the Penobscot building, looking out of the window, daydreaming, saying, Les, can you do this? Can you make this happen? I used to listen to tapes day in and day out about see you at the top, don't let nobody steal your dream. I used to ask myself, can I do this? And something said within me, you're the one. You're the one. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. While you're here, and before you go back home to your respected cities and communities, write down at least 5 reasons on why you deserve your dream, on why you won't give up, what's going to make you unstoppable, why you must be unreasonable, because logical, practical thinking says you can't do it today. But if you want to produce unreasonable results in your life, like living your dream and taking charge of your destiny, you've got to be an unreasonable person. You've got to be an uncommon person.
You might say you are not allowed to yet. I waited a long time out in the world before I gave myself permission to fail. Please, don't even bother asking. Don't bother telling the world you are ready. Show it. Do it.
There are a lot of sharks in the world. If you hope to complete the swim, you will have to deal with them. So if you want to change the world, don't back down from the sharks. If I have learned anything in my time traveling the world, it is the power of hope. The power of one person. A Washington, a Lincoln, King, Mandela. One person can change the world by giving people hope. So if you want to change the world, start singing when you're up to your neck in mud.
Don't wait until they tell you you are ready. Get in there. Sing.
If you want to be successful, you must be willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have.
What did Beckett say? Ever tried, ever failed. No matter. Try again. Fail again. Fail better.
Finally, in SEAL training, there's a bell. A brass bell that hangs in the center of the compound for all the students to see. All you have to do to quit, is ring the bell. Ring the bell, and you no longer have to wake up at 5 o'clock. Ring the bell, and you no longer have to be in the freezing cold swims. Ring the bell, and you no longer have to do the runs, the obstacle course, the PT, and you no longer have to endure the hardships of training. All you have to do is ring the bell to get out. If you want to change the world, don't ever ring the bell.
If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. Complain, point at your circumstances, give up your power, blame the government, blame the economy. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard.
Start each day with a task completed. Find someone to help you through life. Respect everyone. Know that life is not fair and that you will fail often. But if you take some risks, step up when the times are the toughest, face down the bullies, lift up the downtrodden, and never, ever give up. If you do these things, the next generation and the generations that follow will live in a world far better than the one we have today. And what started here will indeed have changed the world for the better.
But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. It's hard to make a radical change in your behavior. It's hard to take ownership. It's hard to swallow the bitter pill that wherever you find yourself, at some point in time, you made an appointment to be there. It's hard.
The world is yours. Treat everyone kindly and light up the night.
To everybody who's had somebody tell them they can't do what they want to do, family members even tell them they can't do what they want to do. The people who look in the mirror, and when you look in the mirror, all you got is that one person that believes in you, I'm here to tell you that's all you need.
Roll the dice.
Don't give up on me just yet.
Don't give up. If you're gonna try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start.
To be the man, you gotta be the man.
If you're gonna try, go all the way.
All the way. All the way.
This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, jobs. Maybe your mind.
But we gotta keep going.
Go all the way. Could mean not eating for 3 or 4 days. Could mean freezing on a park bench.
Never give up. Go all the way.
It could mean jail. It could mean derision. It could mean mockery, isolation.
To be the man, you gotta be the man. To be the man, you gotta be the man.
Isolation. It's a gift.
Don't stop.
Let's go, champ. Let's go, champ.
All the others are a test of your endurance, of how much you really want to do it. And you'll do it.
When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful.
Despite rejection and the worst odds, Adam will be better than anything else you can imagine.
He who says he can and he who says he can't are both usually right.
Let's go, champ. Let's go, champ.
If you're gonna try, go all the way. There's no other feeling like that.
I don't care if I fail. I'm gonna try. That's all we gotta do is try.
All the way. All the way.
Let's go, champ. Let's go, champ.
You'll be alone with the gods.
Huh?
The nights will flame with fire.
Morning.
Morning. Bokona say.
Do it. Do it. Do it. All the way.
Yeah?
Ledo. You will ride life.
To see.
To perfect laughter.
Kama meka se obenya ho de unyenya ho sisi.
Yeah, right there, no catch it.
If you're gonna try, go all the way.
Hard work, dedication, 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 hard work.
Self-discipline is everything. If you don't have it, I don't look at you right, because I know you're capable of more. It's not discipline so much for me. It's all on you. It's all on you.
Hard work. One-man army. One-man army. The world will go against me. I'm still come on time.
I'm not the best at anything. I'm not gifted. I'm just driven.
To be the man, you gotta be the man. To be the man, you gotta be the man. Right? To be the man, you gotta be the man. To be the man, you gotta be the man.
Take ownership. Take extreme ownership. Don't make excuses. Don't blame any other person or any other thing.
No matter whose fault it is that something is broken, if it's your responsibility to fix it.
Get control of your ego. Don't hide your delicate pride from the truth. Take ownership of everything in your world, the good and the bad.
Power is in taking responsibility. Your heart, your life, your happiness is your responsibility and your responsibility alone.
Take ownership of your mistakes
Take ownership of your shortfalls, take ownership of your problems, and then take ownership of the solutions that will get those problems solved. Take ownership of your job, of your team, of your future, and take ownership of your life. And lead.
Hard work, dedication.
Lead.
Dedication. Hard work, dedication.
Lead yourself and your team and the people in your life. Lead them all to victory.
You're getting to your limit, getting to your limit, getting to your limit. You can't lift that. You can't do that. Until you get to the point that all of a sudden your body makes the adjustment and then you can do it. Failure actually helps you to recognize the areas where you need to evolve. Successful people fail a lot. They fail a whole lot more than they succeed.
But here's the thing. I didn't quit.
Fail early, fail often, fail forward.
You say to your mother, this kid's gonna be the best kid in the world. This kid's gonna be somebody better than anybody ever knew.
I had failed on an epic scale.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now come on and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody.
I had no idea then how far the tunnel extended, and for a long time, any light at the end of it was a hope rather than a reality. But some failure in life is inevitable. It is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all. And so rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life.
Until you start believing yourself, you're gonna have a life.
I want to be forever proud of who I was as a man and change who I used to be. The liar, the insecure guy, the guy who can, whatever. I want to be proud. If I die now, if I die at 80, if I die at 90, 100, I want to look at myself and say, I'm proud of myself.
You don't know how much sand we have left. The future, we don't know. The past, it's gone. Now, the only thing you can deal with is what's right here, right now. And if you look, the sand is always moving.
You're going to fail, and you're going to be in your head. You're going to be saying, I'm not good enough. And it's how you get through that. It's how you get through that on a daily basis.
You're sad and down and out, and you ask yourself, why did this have to happen? It's in this moment that you find out who you really are and what you're really about. You aren't handed anything. You earn everything, every single day.
All of us have greatness within us, but greatness is a choice. It's not our destiny. You think about this person that you now see. I did not know that he existed. I was born in a poor section of Miami, Florida called Liberty City, an abandoned building on a floor
go, Chad. Let's go, Chad. See, some people listen. But when you really want to change, you must hear.
At 43, I'm still putting 100-mile weeks. Still doing thousands of pull-ups, thousands of push-ups. Because I'm not allowing myself to become civilized.
I always try to figure out what's the difference between good and great. Good is fit me. Great is fit now.
The worst thing that can happen to a man is become civilized. You want to be uncommon amongst uncommon people. You start putting yourself in situations that suck, you'll find yourself.
I found myself in this place, and I heard a whisper. And the whisper simply said, can you hear me now? It's time now. So we must readjust our comfort zone. Don't look for nothing spectacular to come out of the sky. We are the sky. When we looking to change, we must change. And the only way to change it is make sure you ain't doing the same thing every day of your life. If an alarm clock is waking you up every morning, we might find ourselves confused in 10 years. It's time to readjust our comfort zones. It's time to figure out whatever majority is doing, I'm gonna find myself doing the opposite.
Life isn't fair. It's not supposed to be. Life is not biased to anyone. It doesn't matter if you're black or white, gay or lesbian, rich or poor. Life doesn't discriminate. Once you accept the fact that life is going to fuck you up in one way or another, you can start preparing for it. The right mindset is everything. It'll be the only thing that will get you through life. Having a can't hurt me mentality will always keep you in the fight. The body is truly amazing. It can handle almost anything you throw at it. It's the mind that is lacking. The mind, as I always say, is trying to find that easy way out. One thing important is that we all have these moments in time that either make you or break you, that can determine the rest of your life. The rest of your life can be determined by one simple decision. A lot of us give total control to life. We don't have any control of it. We just give all control to life. I do this shit every morning to prepare my mind for what life's gonna throw at me. A healthy body gives you a healthy mind. That's what it's about. So if you go into battle, you're not going about the right mindset, the right gear. In combat, you wear body armor. But when we do wrong, is we don't strengthen our minds. You gotta strengthen your mind, take control of that. So then when you get out in the real world, they fuck you up, you got protection. I like to take these very quick fixes in life. We want the 6-minute abs approach to life. Yeah. Oh man, there's no permanent in that. Yeah. There's no permanent in that, man. There's no scarring. There must be scarring. Make a decision. The decision I make was to get up and keep on going. That one moment changed the rest of my life.
As we run toward it, as we work on it day in and day out, sometimes we can't say, I can do that. But what we can say, that it's possible that I can have my dreams. I was willing to take a chance, and most people won't do that. Most of the people that you talk to try and bring them into the business, these are not risk takers. Most people have done all that they're ever going to do. They raise a family, they earn a living, and then they die. But people who are running toward their dreams, life has a special kind of meaning. In the process of working on your dreams, you are going to incur a lot of disappointment, a lot of failure, a lot of pain, a lot of setbacks, a lot of defeats. But in the process of doing that, you will discover some things about yourself that you don't know right now. That you have greatness within you. You're more powerful than you could ever begin to imagine. You're greater than your circumstances. That you don't have to go through life being a victim. Most people don't work on their dreams. Why? For many years I didn't. One is because of fear. The fear of failure. What if things don't work out? And the fear of success. What if they do and I can't handle it? They stop growing, they stop working on themselves, they stop stretching, they stop pushing themselves. If they throw in the towel on themselves, on their families, and on their dreams. Most people don't feel worthy. What I'm doing now, I could have been doing years ago. But because I did not have a college education, because I didn't believe in myself, because I allowed other people's opinion of me to control my destiny, I didn't act on my ideas. I was born in an abandoned building on a hard linoleum floor with my twin brother. We were 6 weeks of age. We were adopted, labeled educable, mentally retarded, and stayed in that category until I got out of high school. I don't have any college training. I applaud you for believing in yourself, because that's what life is about. Stretching and challenging, looking for ways that you can begin to improve yourself. Sometimes we can't say, I can do that. But what we can say, that it's possible that I can have my dream. No one could have convinced me that after just over 6 years, I will have my own book entitled Live Your Dreams. Just over 6 years, I will have 5 specials on public television. Just over 6 years, I've done motivational speaking. I will now have my own talk show that will premiere on Monday, Labor Day. I'm saying to you, your dream is possible. Not only is it important for you to know it's possible for you to choose your future, but it's necessary that you work on yourself, that you develop yourself. It's necessary that you get the energy drainers out of your life, people who don't want anything, people who are not striving, people who are not challenging themselves, people who aren't growing, people who have stopped dreaming. It's necessary that you align yourself with people and attract people into your business who are hungry, people who are unstoppable and unreasonable, people who are refusing to leave life just as it is and who want more. Everybody won't see it, that everybody won't join you, that everybody won't have the vision. It's necessary to know that a lot of people like to complain, but they don't want to do anything about their situation, that you're an uncommon breed. You know, you have to know within yourself that I can do this. Even if no one else sees it for me, I must see it for myself. That no one can do it for you but you. And even though you face disappointments, even though you will experience some setbacks, it goes with the territory. You must understand that. What if all of us took that attitude after we face a rejection and a no, or we have a meeting and no one shows up, or somebody say, you can count on me, and they don't come through? What if we have that kind of attitude? The car's repossessed. Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day and saying to yourself, it's not over until I win. It's hard. It's not easy. It's hard changing your life. It was hard when just over 3 years ago, in the Penobscot building in Detroit, Michigan, where I was operating my business, and I fell on some hard times, and I was sleeping in my office. It was hard coming into the lobby, and the security said, excuse me, Mr. Brown, can we see you for a moment? Please, do not sleep in your office. And I said, excuse me, sir. I said, I just worked long hours. And creating my business. I'm an entrepreneur. And right now, things are bad for me. But they're not going to be this way always. And I just ask for the opportunity to continue to operate like I'm doing. I'm not trying to make this my home. And it was hard coming through the lobby. And sometimes they would laugh. There's a guy talking about becoming successful. And look at it. He's bathing in the bathroom upstairs on the 21st floor. He sleeps on the floor. Look at him. It was hard, ladies and gentlemen, coming to speak.